Please be seated. The Chamber wishes to make a ruling on 1st of August 2016. The lead co-lawyers communicated to the Chamber their proposed list of civil parties for the hearings on the harm suffered by the civil parties for the fourth trial topic on the Security Center and Internal Purchase, and requested the admission of true documents into evidence, the 22/289A and the 22/2732. And these two documents are related to listed civil parties, 2 TCCP 1050 and 2 TCP 1048 respectively, and that is document E315/1/6. Subsequently, on 10 August 2016, the lead co-lawyers informed the trial chamber by email that 2 TCCP 1048 from their proposed list would be replaced by 2 TCCP 1051. Proposed document, the 22/289A, provides supplementary information to the civil party application of 2 TCCP 1050, who will appear during the hearings on the harm suffered by the civil parties during the fourth trial topic. The trial chamber recalls its practice to admit into evidence all prior statements of civil parties or witnesses who appear before it, pursuant to internal rules 873 and 874. It is in the interest of ascertaining the truth that the Chamber and parties have access to all of the statements of civil parties and witnesses who will be heard in case 002/02. The Chamber therefore grants the lead co-lawyer's request to admit proposed document, the 22/289A, and assigns it document number E3/4733A. Proposed document, the 22/2732, is the civil party application of 2 CCP 1048, who is now withdrawn from the appearance list by the lead co-lawyers. As this is accordingly not a prior statement of a civil party who will appear before the Chamber, and no further justification on the basis of Rules 87.3 and 87.4 have been advanced, the Chamber rejects the request to admit the document. This constitutes the Chamber's official response to E315/1/6. And the floor is now given again to the lead co-lawyer to continue his key document presentation. Once again, good afternoon, Your Honors, and good afternoon, everyone. I continue with my key document presentation, and I will take about 10 to 15 more minutes. The next civil party that I'd like to present is Ms. or Madame Ruth Main. She lost her brother Ruth Tim, who was executed at the Tulslang prison. In her civil party application E3/4672 at Khmer EAN 00211239, English 0023 3378279, French 0028 5212. She mentions the following and allow me to quote. Later, Khmer Rouge soldiers turned up in the village for 2 to 3 months. They captured all the monks from the pagodas. At that time, all monks were made to wear black clothes donned by the Khmer Rouge soldiers. They had to wear black uniforms, and that they had to serve in the army. There were about 11 monks, and all of them were disrobed, including my younger brother Ruth Tim, who died. Kum Nate was also killed by the Khmer Rouge, and Kum Tip, another monk, currently resides in Mariam Hang Cheung village, Mariam sub-district, Rumihai district, Svayriang province. All of the other monks disappeared. In 2007, the Documentation Center of Cambodia brought a biography of prisoners, including a photograph of my younger brother Ruth Tim, who was imprisoned at Tulslang prison. They brought me that document to my house. And the name Ruth Tim also appeared on the list of prisoners at S21, which is the OCIJ's list, and it appeared at number 7898, which states that he entered S21 on 27 January 77. In document E3/7514, which is a biography of a prisoner named Ruth Tim, who is the younger brother of civil party Ruth Main. Ruth Tim was arrested in Division 170 on 27 January 1977. And with your permission, Mr. President, I'd like to show document E3/7514 on screen. It is at Khmer EAN 00079580, English 00234039, French 00290804. And I seek your permission to show that document on screen, Mr. President. President, maybe you need, please show that document on screen. Council, at number 1, the name display is Ruth Tim, and his photo is also attached to this biography. And at that time, he was 21 years old. Thank you. And in another document, that is E3/9843, which is a list of incoming prisoners in January 1977. Ruth Tim is also mentioned, and his name is mentioned at Khmer EN 0101-0006. And again, with your permission, Mr. President, I'd like to show document E3/9843 on the screen, the relevant EN number that I just quoted. President, every unit, please show that document on screen. At number 07.17, which is a house number, and at serial number 8, the name that is mentioned is Ruth Tim. This is a tourist line document. I'd like to now move on to the rest of the civil parties, and there are two remaining, and they are related to the segment on internal purchase. The first document is the civil party application of Madame Ken Mau. And Madame Ken Mau passed away, and in her civil party application she mentions that she lost her younger brother during the regime. He was a Khmer Rouge soldier. In her document, that is E3/5949, which is a civil party application, the Khmer EN 0042 1691, and English 0047 6154, and a French translation is not available. However, a request has been made. She stated the following, and allow me to quote: "My young brother, who worked as a soldier, was killed by the Khmer Rouge at Prekoki Pagoda. Prekoki Pagoda, and Sopi was in charge of that pagoda. The pagoda was located in Trapeng Sakai village, situated west of the pagoda, and that happened in early 1978. I saw my brother taken passing my house by the Khmer Rouge soldiers. Each of the soldiers was armed, and I could not do anything, only shedding my teeth. I did not dare to help my brother, as I was afraid that I would be killed." And the next civil party is Lat Lane. The civil party also passed away. She lost her eldest son, who was killed at Yun Sopi's office. In her document, that is E3/5950, the Khmer EN 0042 1708, and in English 0048 8028. And there is no French EN. However, a request for translation has been submitted. She made mention of the following point, and I quote: "My eldest son was killed in 1977 by the Khmer Rouge. He was a soldier during the Pol Pot regime. He had struggled for the nation but ended up being killed. He was just 15 years old when he was killed. Before my son was killed, a Khmer Rouge soldier told me that he took him for work in a factory. On the contrary, he was recruited as a soldier. He sent a letter to me that he was not sure to work in the factory, but was made to work in Rung Chkil in Prey Veng. He went on to say that he worked in the paddy fields under the baking sun. He did not receive enough food to eat. Later, I heard that he returned home to O Riang Au. I then asked my husband to go and receive him. My husband waited there for a few nights, but did not hear anything about our son's whereabouts. Later, we were told that our son was killed at Yun Sopi office. Most soldiers were killed at the office. The news of our son's death hurt us tremendously, but we just could not make it known for fear that we too would be taken to be killed. And lastly, the civil party is Va Son. The civil party passed away, and during the Khmer Rouge regime, she lost her elder brother named Va Mau, who was chief of a cooperative and who was subordinated to Sao Pham. In her civil party application, that is E3/6067, at Khmer EAN 0050164, and there is no English or French translation, she mentions the following point, and allow me to quote. In May 1978, Va Mau, that is my eldest brother, disappeared. During the Lonol regime, my elder brother lived in Kosoten, Kampong Cham province. After the Khmer Rouge took control on 17 April 1975, he, Va Mau, was appointed by the Khmer Rouge as chief of a cooperative, and I do not know the name of that cooperative. And later on, Sao Pham, who was the chief of the East Zone, in early 1978, people in a village, whose name I cannot recall, although it was in Kosoten district, Kampong Cham province, were angered, and they went on a strike against to take revenge against Va Mau, who was a subordinate of Sao Pham. However, in fact, Va Mau only implemented the order from the upper echelon for various assignments in the cooperative. The Khmer Rouge soldiers, whose names are not known, tied him up and sent him away, and that happened in May 1978. This is the information concerning the last civil party Va Son, and I conclude my part on the key document presentation, and with your permission, Mr. President, I'd like to cede the floor to my international lead co-lawyer to present her part. President, yes, you may proceed.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, everyone. This afternoon, I will be presenting a series of prisoner lists from S21. And this will be in relation to 6 civil parties. Before presenting these documents, I would like to explain to the Chamber that the list of the Office of Co-Investigating Judges, E3 10604, has proven to be a very important tool for the civil parties because it has enabled us to identify lists of that time on which the names of friends and family of the civil parties were found for the first time, and that the information that the civil parties never had, such as the date of entry of the people they loved into S21 or the date of them being smashed in S21, was made available to them for the first time. Thus, a series of documents concerning the close friends and family of 6 civil parties, and Mr. President, so that this can flow as closely as possible, our consultants have already organized with the graphic so that this can flow as much as possible without me needing to ask you to authorize each document. If this is agreeable to you, this method, Mr. President, so that I can move as quickly as possible and as smoothly as possible through this afternoon's presentation.
Yes, you can do that.
Je vous remercie, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. And before beginning this presentation, I would like to draw the attention of the parties in the Chamber to the fact that all of the information we are presenting today and all of the information contained in the civil party applications have been verified by our section directly with the civil parties themselves, except obviously those who are already deceased. So I will beginning my presentation with the documents and lists related to the civil party Sieng Tan. Sieng Tan became a civil party through E3 5020. Sieng Tan lost her husband at S21, Wine Noon. And speaking of her husband, Wine Noon, I would like to read from an excerpt from her civil party application 00650584 00894116 in English, 00893426 in French. In this civil party document, Sieng Tan explains that her husband was a Khmer from Kampuchea Krom. He was a civil servant in the Lon Nol regime. He worked in the National Bank of Cambodia, and he worked up until it fell. Phnom Penh fell in April 1975. And later he disappeared and we didn't know where he had gone. Then I was told he had been brought to Tuol Sleng prison in order to be killed there. We found 2 lists from that era which contain her husband's name. And before presenting these 2 lists and showing them on the screen, I would like to cite the number associated with the entry of the civil party's husband into the list of the OCIJ, number 8418. And I will be presenting 2 prisoners' lists, beginning by the list E3/10234. EARN 016657. If we could have the document, and you will see in this document that Wainung was aged 23 years when he entered S21 on the 20th of March 1978, that he came from the southwest, that he was a Yun from Kapuchia Krom. The second list concerning Wainung is E3/10234. This is a list of prisoners which entered S21 on the 20th of March 1978 and which contains additional information, because we learn there that Wainun worked in the fields, working at the field. And now I will go to the second civil party, Kao Kim Hong,
constitué participe.
Who joined as a civil party following the death of her husband, Dat Nguyen. And when she joined as a civil party, she said the following in document E3/5089 at Khmer ERN 00907563, English 0013125664, French 01312566. My husband was Tanun. He was a teacher at the Chaktamuk primary school in the city of Phnom Penh. We had 5 children, 1 daughter and 4 sons. And we find Dat Nun's name on the list of the OCIJ at entry number 12,544. And this list allowed us to identify documents from the period, including 2 prisoner lists, which are going to be displayed to you on the screen right now. The first list that gives us information on the entry date of Dat Nun at S21, and the second list gives us the Dat Nun's execution date at S21. And I'm going to start with the first list, E3/10453, where you can see at entry number 64 that was circled in red, the Tanun's name. That is to say, the husband of the civil party. And we learned that he comes from Plum Srok, that he entered S21 on 13 February 1976. And then the document E3/10507, which is another list from that period, an S21 list, and we learned that that very same person, who was a teacher from Plum Srok, was smashed on 23 May 1976. Another civil party who joined following the death of one of her loved ones at S21, Sien Wandi. This civil party lost her brother, Sien Pon, at S21. And I would like to read out an excerpt from her application so that we may get to know more about her brother. I'm going to read an excerpt from document E3/5888 at the Khmer ERN 002111315, English 002345886, French 002347000. Sinwandi says the following. In 1974, my two brothers entered the Khmer Rouge Army. Siang Pat, male, born in 1950, and Siang Pon, male, born in 1954. Their hometown was Ksaktup, Shroi Bante Subdistrict, Prekpra Subdistrict, Karachi Province. I had, from that moment until 7 January 1979, they were not seen returning to the home village, and there was no news about them until 2006. At the end of 2007, I got information from a paper that was shown to me by one of the friends of my brother, and this paper showed a biography and a photograph of Siang Pon. The name of this civil party's brother is listed on the OCIJ list at number 6627, and we have two documents to show to you. The first document is a list of prisoners from S21, and the second document is the cover page of Siang Pon's confession at S21. And the first document, E3/9951, at entry number 20, mentions this brother's name, Siang Pon. He was 25 years old. He entered S21 on 4 October 1977, and he was a member of Battalion 701. And the cover page of his biography, which we can find at E3/3648, provides us with complementary information. He was a member of Battalion 701 of Division 174. Another civil party and another relative who died at S21. This is Civil Party Chun No, who lost her husband, Nusamun. And this is what she explains in her civil party application at E3/4670 at Khmer ERN 0211374, English 002397756, French 00250006. And she says that on the 9th of August 1977, her husband, now someone, was detained at Tulse Lane. Her husband is at number 5,747 on the OCIJ list, and his name was found in two lists from the period, which I would like to show to you now, starting with document E3/26 9954, where we can see the name of Nusamon as the first entry. He was 29 years old, and he entered S21 on 30 July 1977. The second document, E3/8591, contains at entry 61 the name Nausamon, and we are informed that he was a combatant within K62. Martine Lefebvre also joined as a civil party before this court, following the psychological harm she suffered following the death of her husband, Ouquet. Her husband was the third secretary of the Embassy of Cambodia in Senegal, and she joined as a civil party through document E3/4682. And we have two documents regarding Ouquet. And I'd like to let you know that the second document is the document regarding which I sent an email this morning to know if there was any kind of objection to the fact of presenting this list that we hadn't identified before this morning. So, Ouquet is at entry 4612 of the list from the OCIJ. And we would like to show two lists from the period, two S21 lists, which tell us about the entry date and the execution date of Ouquet. And I would like also to show first document E3/9646, where you can see at entry number 3 of this document called List of Prisoners Entered on 15 July 1977. At entry number 3, you therefore see Ouquet's name, his age. He was 31 years old when he was detained at S21. And we also see that he came from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and that he was third secretary of the embassy. Document E3/7210. Includes Ouquet's name at entry number 43. And this list is titled Names of Prisoners Smashed on 9 December 1977. The last civil party, regarding whom we would like to present documents that seem important to us and to which we would like to draw the Chamber's attention, is Ouyat, who lost a relative named Toun Sayen. Ouyat joined as a civil party, and I would like to read an excerpt from document from the supplementary information document which will allow us to understand who this person was. This is document E3/6013A. Khmer ERN 00581945. English 00850666. French translation was requested, but the translation is not yet available. In this supplementary information sheet, Huyat, the civil party, indicates that she would like to forward to the chamber Tun Sayen's biography, who was a 31-year-old man and who was detained on 21 January 1977 at Tuol Sleng. And he was his mother's cousin, her mother's cousin. This name was found on the list that was compiled by the OCIJ, and his name is at entry 12,897. And we have 3 documents to show to you. The first, which is the biography, E3/6013A, which is the document that Huyat forwarded to the chamber, and in which we can see the photograph of Tun Sayen. And then we have document E3/2266, which is a prisoner list from S21. Where you can see Tun Sayen's name and his alias at. And finally, document E3/2001, which also shows at entry number 12 that Tun Sayen, alias At, who was a painter and who was detained at S21. Mr. President, I am done with my presentation of key documents, and thank you very much for your attention.
President, thank you. Political lawyer. It is now time for the adjournment today, and the chamber will resume the key documents hearing on the Tuesday, 16 August 2016 at 9 a.m. And on Monday, 15 August 2016, the chamber will continue to hear the victim impact statements and injury which were inflicted on the civil parties during the decade in relation to security centers and internal purges. Therefore, you are all invited to be here on time next week. Security personnel are instructed to bring the 2 accused, Nuon Chie and Kyo Sompon, back to the ECCCC detention facility and have them returned into the courtroom on Monday before 9 a.m. The court is now adjourned.